What is up, Splatoon enjoyers? We are back with some more Ludi Tonight action. My name is Giraffe, and I am joined by the greatest Splatoon coach ever. It is Virus. What's up, Virus?
What's going on, guys? It's really good to be here, and we also have a really good match for you. Wait, am I muted? Hello,
Nope,
hello.
no, we
I'm
can
good.
hear you. We
Thank
got
God. I got a little bit scared for a second, but yeah, we got a really good matchup coming for you with our semifinals Ludi Div 10 set with Crack Alakin going up against Sea Dragons. Whoever wins this match will secure their spots in Div 10 playoff finals. So that's just gonna be really interesting to see. Draft.
Yeah, I'm certainly excited for this really important playoffs match. Uh, yeah, we got two teams here that I didn't know too much about going into this, but we did find out that Sea Dragons did win FTIU. That's, I believe, what you said. So that is a pretty notable result for them. So that's pretty exciting. Nothing on Crackalacken so far, but certainly, it's Div 10. It's going to be exciting. Div 10 is always exciting because you get lots of interesting weapon picks and whatnot. So I'm very much looking forward to this set.
Yes, low level sets are like one of my favorite sets to watch personally, just because of just the plain variety that each set has and how there are basically a lot of like underrated players that you just have to watch out for. I know personally, back in like January, there were like a lot of low level teams that I absolutely loved watching. Some of which are still in low level, whom I still root for. But either way, like for me personally, Div 10 sets and like anything up around like Div 6 and lower are some of my favorite sets to watch. So I actually cannot wait to just get into the set, and we are going to be getting into Rainmaker Undertow. Giraffe, what are your thoughts on this map mode? Because it's a pretty popular map mode in an all modes format. However, it is people have their own opinions on the specific map.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've played this in tournaments and scrims a bajillion times. And I like it. It's I think the main quality of it is it's got really two different paths that you can take the Rainmaker on the right or on the left side. Most people will opt for the left side, so keep an eye out for that. But I don't mind this map mode. Undertow isn't my favorite map in the world. It can feel kind of awkward to play on it personally, but it's honestly not too bad. As we roll in with the comps, we see a Wellstrain coming out from one of the teams. That's like you said, a pretty interesting weapon pick. We also have a junior as the action is beginning in mid. We've got no picks so far. We've got the bucket player going in, getting a trade here. The trade with the range blaster. Now one down on both sides. The cooler coming out on one of the teams. I'm not sure which team is the pink team, but we have started the action, and so far pretty even fight in mid.
As both teams are just look at stalemate right now. So far, one of the teams do have control of the Rainmaker, and they are making a break for onto the right check. They do get it all the way to 73 before two members end up going down. But right now, it just seems like that the purple team on this end is just making their way forward to the left check. And from what I've seen, it is it is Sea Dragons on the pink. By the way, I rechecked on the yeah. Yeah, right now
Yeah.
we do have Sea Dragons moving forward on this check to the checkpoint. They are gonna get the checkpoint. However, with one down on the side of Sea Dragons, it looks like that Crackalacken is gonna try to make a breakaway back forward. They do end up getting the Rainmaker all the way to 49. However, that's probably gonna be the end of their push, but not if Center has anything to do with it. They do get a pick with the Kraken. They do get two with the bomb. However, they're just getting pissed right now. It looks like they're go down it, and they do. And right now, see, Crackalacken has control of their elbow and is looking to reset the Rainmaker and try to make the fight back for mid.
Yeah, a decent first push there from Sea Dragons. Sorry, from Sea Dragons. to get it to 49, as now the action has returned to mid. Sea Dragons getting the pop now. Maybe they're going to be looking to go for another push. The cooler once again coming out. Cooler being a very, very important thing in these matches for these teams to be playing off of. As we see the whale coming out, the bucket is making advances for Crackalakin, trying to go and get some picks, gets picked off, actually gets the trade with the range blaster like we saw at the beginning of the match. Once again, the Rainmaker has been picked up, but does not go down. There's 2 down now on the side of Crackalakin, 3 down as their push is going to get ended. The Ultra Stamp coming out, and Sea Dragons have, defended that pretty well. They're going to be able to hold their lead with 2.5 minutes left on the clock and try and take back mid and, maybe go for another push.
Just playing really comfortably in this middle position, they're just able to trade out their players and just keep the current position that they have. And right now, with 2 down on the side of Crackalakin, it seems like that Sea Dragons is gonna make a push towards the enemy's left, towards Crackalakin's left side of the map. However, 3 go down on the side of Sea Dragons, and now it's Crackalakin's turn to make a push back, as it's a staggered wipe on the side of Sea Dragons, and now Crackalakin has the opportunity to make a big push of their own. Right now, the Rainmaker is in mid. They are looking to try to push through this left side. The Rainmaker is popping shots over on this left side. However, and they do have this clear to try to push in. However, with 2 down on the side of Crackalakin and the bubble ready on the side of Sea Dragons, it looks like that they're gonna execute their retake, and that's exactly what is gonna happen. Mr. Tanner with the Kraken behind the Rainmaker is gonna get the pick on the Rain, and now with Crackalakin with a staggered wipe once again, Sea Dragons is just gonna continue to just have complete control of the middle of the map graph.
Yeah, absolutely. Once again, great defending from Sea Dragons. We saw the Kraken not coming out, in fact, from the side of Crackalakin, as you might expect, but coming out from the side of Sea Dragons and kind of cleaning up the picks, cleaning up the Rainmaker, as we see 2 go down on the side of Sea Dragons. Crackalakin are taking the Rainmaker on the right side this time, down to 60. They get the checkpoint, which is really big for their pushes, because the checkpoint is, you really want to be able to push past the checkpoint. It'll help you, get further in, and it's really a big, hurdle to jump over when you're making a Rainmaker push. Here we see Crackalakin, their push is kind of fizzled out, as we see perhaps one sharking on the left side gets the pick on the Junior, as we saw them sharking. The strikes now coming out. They're going to be trying to grab the Rainmaker and go for lead, as they do get the lead down to 34 points. Crackalakin have taken the lead. 2 down on both sides now, as the teams are now contesting for pop on the right side. Sea Dragons are going to get it and are going to be storming back into mid with what seems to be a successful retake, as they're popping cooler, going to be picking up the Rainmaker. 25 seconds left. Crackalakin have to be able to kill the Rainmaker here and get a push of their own to take... Sea Dragons... Never mind. Sea Dragons actually have to get the lead. They have to be able to get this push to work. They've got 1 down with the bucket, and they're going to be trying to push on this left side, as we might expect. Try and get the lead back here.
What's it called? Sea Dragons tried their best to just make a push to just get back the advantage. However, unfortunately, with the constant amount of pressure coming from Crackalakin, with those constant dives on the Rainmaker, it just wasn't enough for Sea Dragon to sustain, and Crackalakin is able to take game 1. Now, I want to talk about the comps, because even though we've talked about earlier how we could just basically see any weapon being played in this particular division, we've seen pretty standard picks but on each side, outside of the Wellstring. But even then, Wellstring is a pretty strong weapon that they have adapted really well into their comps.
Yeah, absolutely. Not too many rogue weapon picks, but yes, the Wellstring is something that is not considered to be 100% meta that we are seeing. As well as the Junior is a bit more of an off-meta pick, although, not even too weak of a weapon. But certainly, an interesting first match there to look at. We saw that, Sea Dragons had that, first initial momentum, right? They had like 2 pushes at the beginning, but then Crackalakin, I mean, they got the picks, and they made very crucial usage of that right side checkpoint, which is a lot of a faster route than going on the left side, and that allowed them to really use the window of space that was made from all their picks and use it to its fullest advantage, which I think definitely should not be looked past, as we see on the replay here them doing exactly that. You did also see the Game 9 on the other SplatoonTourney channel being concluded, So that's pretty exciting that they had a game 9 over there. Virus, we're going to Splat Zones on Mahi Mahi Resort, and I want to know your opinions on this map mode.
Top level loves this map mode so much. And I don't really like Mahi as a map, but on zones, I feel like it's alright. I kind of like how it plays, especially for like some of the weapons that I personally play. However, like it's still Mahi at the end of the day. It can still feel really lockout heavy, but either way, it's still a really fun map to play on. But either way, we're gonna get right into our game 2 on Splat Zones Mahi Mahi Resort. We're gonna see what comps that each team does bring out. We're going to see what gets pulled out, and I'm pretty sure that's an Explo that we see on the side of I'm pretty sure that's an Explo that we see on the side of Sea Dragons, and also we have a Carbon on this map in particular, which is a really interesting pick for this map, considering that, at least to my knowledge, this is not really a favorite Carbon map. I could be wrong. Any Carbon mains that are looking at this, please correct me on that. But either way, we have a 1-for-1 trade. Sea Dragons does have early control of the zone. However, with the Carbon going down, it does seem like that they're gonna just rush forward. And with the Junior going down, they do have a bubble in the zone. However, Sea Dragons still, with the advantage, are able to get 2 down on the side of Crackalagan before a constant stream of trades going out. But at the end of the day, as the dust settles, Sea Dragons, or no, Crackalagan, my bad. Crackalagan is going to maintain control of the zone and is going to look for the lockout scenario in this particular moment.
Yeah, we saw the Carbon get an immediate pick right at the beginning when you were talking about it, which was pretty funny, but they did go down after that as we see the Reef Slider coming in, trying to cap the zone, but failing for Sea Dragons as the Dreadbringer, which is also a weapon pick that we should talk about, does try to go for paint, is going to get the paint on the zone as Sea Dragons are coming in to cap that zone. Now 1 down on both sides as Crackalakan have been pushed back a little bit. Sea Dragons are cleaning up mid and are going to be trying to get a lockout to happen. They're not too far from taking the lead here, but Crackalakan do, as we see, have the Zuka about to be popped here. It gets a pick, trying to help the retake. They're not going to be able to prevent lead from flipping, but this might be a successful retake off that pick from the Zuka. Another one goes down on the side of Sea Dragons, the Dread, the Junior, and the Head, it all going down. That's basically a delayed wipe for Crackalakan, as they're going to be able to retake zone and try and get the lead back from Sea Dragons. So, you know, a pretty effective retake with basically a full wipeout for Crackalakan.
All of Sea Dragons getting traded out for the Zap on the side of Crackalakan, which is not really a bad trade on the side of Crackalakan, considering that Sea Dragons isn't running any coolers. So Sea Dragons, if they get wiped out in any moment, the respawns are going to be slow, and they're gonna have a harder time picking up the pace against the cooler comp that Crackalakan is running. But either way, we do see Sea Dragons with this crab on the right side trying to go for a successful retake. The splashdown by the Explo is going to try to cancel out the crab, but not before it gets canceled, right before the actual thing goes through. And right now, with 3 down on the side of Crackalakan, the Carbon is just striking on this side of the map, is able to get a pick before popping Zuka, and the Zuka is going to clear a lot of space in the front of the zone, which will enable the shot to run forward and get a pick. And now the shot's behind him. No, that was not the shot, that was a Zap, my bad. But right now, with 3 down on the side of Sea Dragons, it looks like that Crackalakan could just hold off for a little bit longer. With 10 seconds left on their penalty, it looks like that they're going to burn through the penalty and maybe take lead here, so long as they kill the Dreadbringer, and they do at the expense of their Explo. But with 2 down on the side of Crackalakan, 3 down on the side of Crackalakan, Sea Dragons is going to be able to retake the zone and are able to call out the Carbon here, and is able to execute a push right onto the Carbon. And with the Carbon jumping out, Sea Dragons is now set up to try to hold this game with their penalty basically being burned through. They have 2 specials. They have a crab tank and they have a bubble to try to hold the zone. The bubble's on the left side of the map and the crab tank is already popped. They're going to try to hold this for as much as possible, and the Carbon does go down in the midst of all the chaos coming out from Sea Dragons. And this Zuka is not really going to find any value on the side of Crackalakan. And with trade coming out, it does seem like that Sea Dragons is going to just hold off on the zone with a stack, with Sea Dragons, or with Crackalakan just getting staggered. 3, 2, 1. No, they're not able to cap. Sea Dragons is not able to hold off for long enough, and Crackalakan is able to retake the zone, and they get 1 more lifeline in this game.
Yeah, what a clutch retake there by Crackalakin to, basically get a full wipe there right at the end as they've lost zone once again to Sea Dragons. We mentioned that Carbon maybe not being favored on this map, but I've seen this Carbon do some pretty good sharking work here for Crackalakin. Although they do not have the lead, there is plenty of penalty on the side of Sea Dragons as the range blaster goes down. And Crackalakin are gonna look to get more picks and really hold out the zone because they have a lot of work to do. They have basically over 60 points of penalty, or 60 points that they have to make up score-wise in order to catch up with Sea Dragon's push. But 2 down now on the side of Sea Dragons is going to be perfect for what Crackalakin wants to do here. Now the timer is ticking down. The shot goes down on the side of Crackalakin, which is not good for their holds. The Dreadbringer has the Reef Slider, but it's now sharked out by the Carbon, like I talked about before. The Carbon doing work, gets the Zuka, or that's the shot, gets the Zuka, gets the pick, and Crackalakin were simply, I believe Crackalakin were not able to, or no, they were able to win there. No, they were not. Sorry,
Nah,
my bad.
yeah. Crackalakin was able to get the last second wipeout, but it was not enough as Sea Dragons was just able to secure the zone for the rest of the timer. Really scary situation if you're Sea Dragons in that spot, but at the end of the day, the time is in your favor. Sometimes you just gotta stall out the clock long enough for the clock to just basically bite the enemy team in the butt, and that's exactly what Sea Dragons did to Crackalakin, as we are now going 1-1 in the series. And I just wanna talk about the on both sides, both Sea Dragons and Crackalakin. So I just want to point out how disciplined Sea Dragons was playing on their defense and their special coordination as well as Crackalakin's ability to just retake the zone with just a coordinated dive by everyone and just able to take out everyone one by one while also being at numbers disadvantage to just get back the zone. Really good team play on the side of both sides. However, Sea Dragons was just playing a little bit better throughout this entire game and was able to secure a game win.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, great team play from both sides, like you said, and just an incredible ending there. As I could not tell who had actually won it because I was more looking at the game and not the score. But that's my bad. But yeah, Sea Dragons were able to quickly cap the zone after, even after getting wiped, or the wipeout they suffered did not actually mean anything because the zone was not capped in time by Crackalakin. So a bit unfortunate for Crackalakins, as we're going to move on to one of my favorite map modes of Ship Shape TC, which this is a map mode that me and you, Virus, we've talked about a lot in the past. It's a pretty good map mode. Like I said, I really like this map mode. I'd say one of the the key parts of this map mode is to control that bridge. When you're making a push, control that bridge on the left side is often a neglected part of the map, but it's very important if you can get people on that bridge and get people on that plat even farther to secure your push as we roll in with game 3 of what seems to be a good set so far. As the Carbon stays out, we have a V-stringer on the side of, I believe that is Sea Dragons, and the ZNF Charger for Crackalakin. So somewhat similar comps, but a few things have changed, Virus.
Yes, a few key points of the comp has changed just to like benefit the current situation that they're in, and so far it does seem like that both teams are just like playing their neutral game really slowly, trying to get a feel for each other. However, the Carbon does go down early, which can open up a lot for Sea Dragons as they're pushing the tower early, and with the bubble on the tower, it does seem like that they're gonna make an early push to the first checkpoint. They don't quite get to the first checkpoint yet, they're going to the 10-2 matters behind them. However, with 2 down on the side of Sea Dragons, it does seem like that Crackalakin is going to make a counter push of their own. The strikes do go out on tower. It doesn't really do anything else besides just protect the charger for a little bit. But right now, it does seem like that Crackalakin is still trying to fight for control on this left side, but 2 go down on the side of Crackalakins, 3 go down on the side of Crackalakins. It's just the Carbon who is just being called out in the middle of the map. They can't do anything about that, and they're gonna get taken out. And now it's Sea Dragon's turn to try to make a push of their own. They have 2 specials. They have the Kraken and the bubble to try to secure the first checkpoint, which I'm pretty sure that isn't gonna happen, as right now 3 specials are online on the side of Sea Dragons, and the Kraken does get a pick and is right behind the enemy lines of Crackalakins. And now with Mr. Saturn just all the way pushed up, just taking as much attention as possible, Sea Dragons is able to take the first checkpoint and is going to look to take a lot more.
Yeah, absolutely. We see Sea Dragons, now moving into the 30s of the points. Crackalacken not really able to get much of their players together to try and make a coordinated retake. As we see the Carbon trying to get a pick on the tower as it would try to, but it goes down to this junior, and this might just be a full knockout push for Sea Dragons. Now 2 down still on the side of Crackalacken, as Sea Dragons now only just now is suffering a man disadvantage as the Stringer and the Junior go down. I believe this push is probably over as the strikes come out to clear the tower. Crackalacken is going to be trying to, move up, retake mid. They have a lot of work to do. They have to get all the way down to 18 points remaining if they want to take this lead back. But now 3 down on the side of Crackalacken as Sea Dragons, they said that we don't care about your retake. You may have had a successful retake, but you're not going to win mid from us. And they're going to have another push to compound with the push that they just got going. Already the Gal coming down, now 2 down on the side of Sea Dragons as their push might have to back up. The cooler comes out. We see the Stringer here just chilling in mid, playing a bit far up from where you would expect a Stringer to play, but honestly I'm all for it. And we see the Zap going down, the Stringer going down, the Junior going down, plenty of picks on both sides as it's just an all-out skirmish for mid. The strikes come out and the Whale coming out. It looks like Crackalacken have gotten the space advantage here as they've got people pushing up on the bridge and in the court. As I had mentioned before, that bridge is going to be very, very important. This is hopefully going to be a very big push for Crackalacken as they have a lot of ground to retake to get this lead back from Sea Dragons. As we see the tower pushing into the court, and this is going to have to be a really big push from Crackalacken.
Yes, like I feel like a lot of not zones. I feel like a lot of tower ship shape games are like basically the same way. One team just gets that early push all the way to the last checkpoint, and then the other team a couple minutes later gets it either really close or right back at them. And right now it does seem like that Crackalackens, while they did try to go for a push earlier on, it does seem like that the push kind of died down. But the Gal on the side of Crackalackens has gotten 2 down on the side of Sea Dragons, which opens up a lot of space on the side of Crackalackens as this Zap on the top left side of the map is going to try to make some space. However, this mist is just slowing them down, and the Whale combo with the mist is going to get 2 people on the side of Crackalackens. This is not a situation that you want to be in if you're Crackalackens right now. And with 2 down again on the side of Crackalackens, Sea Dragons is going to take more space as the Charger, their main backline, goes down. And right now, Sea Dragons is officially set up for the push of their own. Right now, Crackalackens do have the ink strikes to try to just put a stop to this push, and here they come. The strikes come out. However, the counter specials on the side of Mr. Saturn with the Kraken does come out. Isn't able to find a pick. However, the Charger does go down on the side of Crackalacken, and Crackalacken is gonna have to back out again to reset. However, they did use up their whale, so they don't really have any displacement specials on deck to try to retake the tower. They just have the core that is just in the middle of the map and is just deemed ungrabbable as so much AoE is just being spammed on the cooler by Sea Dragons. But right now, the Carbon on this top left is going to try to shut down any push, any advances from anyone going up, but the Junior is just able to put a stop to the Carbon shenanigans. And with 2 down on the side of Crackalacken, it does seem like that Sea Dragons is going to take it, and they do. The Gal on Crackalackens wasn't able to get it on the tower in time, and that in turn secures the game, game 3 for Sea Dragons.
Yeah, I noticed right there at the end, the Zap went on an absolute tear. They flanked the entire team of Crackalackens and I believe got 2 or 3 picks. So that was a pretty big way to clean out the game here, as Sea Dragons are now going to be once again going a game up on the set, but we are nowhere near from being done. This is a best of 9 set, so you do have to win a grand total of 5 games to take the set. So yeah, we have plenty of Splatoon left to watch and plenty of Splatoon left for these guys to play. And that was a pretty exciting game, and we saw both teams make pretty big pushes, but in the end, Sea Dragons' push was simply, their pushing power was clearly shown. I mean, constantly we saw the moment they got a push down, they had all their players taking that space very, very quickly. They rushed up. They had 4 players all in the court of Crackalacken at once, which is a pretty, hard, hard push to retake. Although, Crackalackens might, be left wondering what would happen if they were to send people on that bridge area to maybe get a retake going, as like I said, that is a very important spot on the map to use for your retakes. But you know, all that aside, we are going on to game 4, Clam Blitz, Barnacle, and Dime. And boy, I'm a pretty big fan of Barnacle and Dime myself. But what are your thoughts, Virus?
I'm the same way. I absolutely love playing this particular map mode on both zones and clams. Everywhere else is just kind of mid, but either way, I just enjoy playing this map in general, regardless of what map mode comes on. Obviously, you will enjoy the better maps. No, not better maps. You will enjoy the better modes on the better maps. We don't talk about Rainmaker. Rainmaker is an absolute garbage mode. I never want to play that mode ever again. I hate that mode so much. But that's besides the point. But like Barnacle is like a really like good map for both of these teams, as it promotes like really good um like it has like a lot of good spots that AoE weapons can be really strong on, while also being really good for other all-around weapons to just have their time to shine. As we are going into our game 4, and we see the 105 gal coming out. Let's go. You love to see it. You love to see it.
Yeah,
I don't think
two gals.
I don't think this card is gonna have a that much of a fun time. Nor is the junior. But let's see. Let's see.
Yeah, two gals is exactly what I would dread to see. I think I'd just log off the game if I were Sea Dragons at this point, seeing two gals, but it doesn't matter. Actually, it's two go down. The Carbon's tearing in. 3 down now on the side of Crackalackins. Almost a full wipe from that Carbon as the last player has to jump out. What an explosive start from that Carbon, getting basically, I think it was 3 picks, which, you know, I mean, double gal all you want, but if you cannot, you know, stop a charging Carbon, then you will have nothing to do in this match, as the first points are going to be scored by Sea Dragons here. And there, I mean, that was, I can't stress how great of a start that was from Sea Dragons right off the bat. We see, I believe that is one of the gals trying to, you know, do a little bit of a flank, or I don't know what that was, but they were all alone. They're gonna get shut down. Crackalackins now has stopped the scoring, and they're going to be taking space back in their court and now looking to retake mid. We see the bucket coming out on the left side with strikes, going to be popping those strikes. The head it goes down on the side of Sea Dragons though, and we see now that Crackalacken has fully taken mid. One of their gals is going to pop a whale here, trying to get some displacement down. But Crackalacken just lacking the clams here to really start looking at the basket, as Sea Dragons have another clam in their possession, and they get the bucket pick down to try and get another push here. That would be really great for Sea Dragons if they get another push, but the head it goes down to the sharking something. I think it was a gal that was sharking there. And just an all-out brawl in mid, as we see picks left and right. We see the head it, you know, trying to go for another pick there. The gal on the plat, double splash wall. I mean, that's just a lot of walls to fight if you are Sea Dragons, but they seem to be doing it pretty well.
Yes, you could just imagine how annoyed Sea Dragons is feeling. I'll be very annoyed too if I had to fight Double Gal. I actually had to fight Double Gal once before, but that's besides the point. But either way, Sea Dragons with not so much of a comfortable lead, but a lead that they could deal with for now as they start to assess what they could do going forward, as they do take care of the Zap really early. But with 2 down on the side of Sea Dragons, this is where Crackalackins comp begins to shine on the front lines, where they could just set up their walls and just prevent Sea Dragons from just moving forward. However, with 2 down on the side of Crackalacken, again, it looks like that Sea Dragons is just gonna try to make an advancement back towards mid. Really back and forth game that we're seeing here so far. The very aggressive opening that we saw from Sea Dragons did not really add to too much momentum on their side, but with 2 walls in the middle of the map for Crackalacken, it does mean that they're going to try to make advancements. However, nothing much is happening. We're just only getting 1-for-1 trades like right here, and with 2 down inside of Sea Dragons, maybe Crackalacken can try to make an advancement forward, but with 3 down inside of Sea Dragons, maybe this is where we're going to see some very big pace change from one of these teams. But no, Sea Dragons just gonna be able to lock down the middle of the map. That range smash is doing a really good job of just holding down the fort and just giving jumps for their teammates. And right now, Sea Dragons is back into the action. Right now, we do see the Carbon sharked on the plat, on Crackalackin's plat, and we do see a pick from the sharking Carbon. You gotta be careful of that. You just have to try to be aware and try to keep the ping control down, so just so that Carbon does not bite you right in the dust. But right now, with one down on the side of Crackalack, and the Crack is doing so much work, two down on the side of Crackalack, and then right now we are seeing the first momentum shift that we have seen we've seen since like the very beginning of the game. And right now, Sea Dragons is just completely set up for this for their push right now. And right now the double wall is just not really looking like it's gonna like do too much. However, they are gonna be able to break out, and the gal does call out the carbon. They knew, they were perfectly aware. Hopefully they weren't stream sniping, I'm not sure. I assume that they're not. However, Crackalacken is gonna be able to retake mid. However, they got a hell of a mountain to climb if they want to run this back.
Yeah, absolutely. Crackalacken were really struggling there for a long time, but they finally found their footing in their base to try and, make a push, as now this gal is going to be getting 3 picks. It was a full wipe out for the side of Crackalacken. This could be the push that they were looking for to take back lead, but there's going to be a lot of points to make up here on Sea Dragons. More clams going in now, but the bucket and one of the gals going down. Now 4-3-4, an entire wipeout for Sea Dragons, as I believe that's gonna be the end of the game. Crackalacken has, I believe, no clams. Oh, they do have a clam, but it's about to die, and that is the end of the game. We saw an absolute storming wipeout from Sea Dragons to completely flush out their core and end the game. They just did not let Crackalacken get that push. It really looked like that Crackalacken were going to have this giant push, as they basically got a full wipe, but they got wiped right in return. So that is going to be the end of, I believe, game 4, as we move on to game 5. But Virus, what a game that was with double gal.
Sea Dragons literally just said walls, what walls, and just ran at them in like the first 30 seconds of the game. And while it didn't offer for like much like momentum shifts for in their favor at the beginning of the game, as they only scored 77 at the very beginning, that push made Crackalack know that they cannot just put walls in the middle of the map for free and expect some type of value. They have to actually work for it against Sea Dragons. And Sea Dragons put up a hell of a fight in against this particular comp. A comp in which in which their comp in particular will probably have the disadvantage, considering that they don't really have high DPS weapons of their own except for the heavy edit. But either way, Sea Dragons played that game out really well against the double gal, was able to play around that extremely well. And even on the defensive side, where they were on the back foot, they were playing around that extremely well, and were able to take the game win in a very dominating fashion later on, in like the later half of the game. But right now we are going on over to Rainmaker on Manta Maria. I hate this map, but that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
I hate this map in general. I think I put this map in my bottom 5 maps in the entire game, but
it doesn't deserve to be in my tier list. Get it out of there. Get it out. I'd rather play Miss Me. I'm not even joking.
Honestly, I might have to agree with that. But yeah, we were playing it anyways. Rainmaker, Manta Maria. I feel weird even saying that map mode, because I think it's so terrible. But we are here on Ludi tonight, playing it anyways, because that's just what the Ludi map list is. It is how it is. And Rainmaker, Manta, all hate aside, we should talk about strategically. I think if you had never played this map before, which I'm probably sure most people watching have, but you've got those bunkers that are really, really important to take, as we see the double gal once again coming out, and Sea Dragons have a gal of their own on their side. It is the battle of the gals. I don't know what to say. It's just absolutely mayhem. Also, I should mention that Crackalacken now do not only have 2 walls, they have 3 walls, because their charger also has a wall on it. So I don't know what their obsession with splash walls is for Crackalacken, but they've got 3 of them on their comp with only 1 suction bomb to help there, as we see already a crazy flank from the side of Crackalacken. Is going to be getting 2, but the gal that did that flank is going to be going down as well. So I mean, Virus, these gals are a bit out of control. I want to know what your thoughts are.
This is the absolutely worst timeline that we could be in, but we have to watch it anyways, and it's still going to be entertaining regardless, though I don't really care. But either ways, we do see a stamp coming out on the side of Sea Dragons. It does get taken out really quickly. However, it does seem like a very, like, stalematy neutral in the middle of the map so far. right now, Sea Dragons does get the pop, and they do get the paint advantage in mid, and they are going to be making the breakaway to the right checkpoint, and they do end up getting the checkpoint on this right side of the map. And considering the fact that Sea Dragon just has by default more bombs than or like more DPS than Crackalakin does, it's not gonna be difficult for them to win the pop battle, considering that they do have a section and a wall string, which is going to beat the triple wall comp any day of the week. But we gotta keep in mind that once Crackalakin does get that advantage, those 3 walls are gonna be deadly, and the charger just calls out the flank on the zap. The charger basically just said no, they're not gonna allow that flank today. And right now, Crackalakin is gonna try to make a fight back for mid. However, it's just the 2 gals alive. They're just gonna be just playing back, trying to just find anyone overextending, and that's exactly what they find. However, one of the gals on the side of Crackalakin does overextend themselves. So now with the stam coming out, it does seem like the Mr. Titan is gonna try to make a breakaway for the just to get as much points as possible. They don't really extend their lead, however, they do put Rainmaker in Crackalakin's part of the map, and Crackalakin is gonna have to cover a lot more ground that in order to try to run this back. And Crackalakin with very little bombs to poke and very little AoE besides except for the whales, it's gonna be fairly difficult for them to just like fight back for space. They're gonna have to rely on the slaying capabilities of the double gal, which does seem to be working right now, as they do get 2 down on the side of Sea Dragons. And right now, this gal up in the front, now Koi is gonna try to create some space, just running in, trying to get as much kills as possible in order to open stuff up. Gets 1, trades out the range blaster. However, it's now 2-2, and even though Crackalakin is gonna get the checkpoint. Oh no! One of the gals is able to get a pick, and now with 2 down on the side of Sea Dragons, it does seem like that Crackalakin is gonna try to make a breakaway towards the checkpoint. However, this wall string is just gonna defend on this left side, and everyone is just trying to salvage it. However, this wall string is just gonna lock down this left side of the map, and Sea Dragons has another breath of life in them as they're going to bring this Rainmaker on the top right and just assess what they want to do from there.
Yeah, and the wall string is really showing their strength there. We saw with those picks that they were getting, with that one shot from close range, as well as AoE spam. But we see now Crackalakin have completely invaded this right side of Sea Dragon's map, and they now have the Rainmaker in an incredibly dangerous spot on the high ground. You almost never see the Rainmaker positioning here, as they might be trying to look to get a run for the lead, as we see here. But the gal was stalking, and the Rainmaker gets caught out. They're gonna be going down. Maybe Crackalakin are gonna be trying to preserve this push, but it doesn't seem likely, as it's only 1 gal remaining up there. That gal now drops, and it looks like they're gonna be going down to the zap on the side of Sea Dragons. A certainly interesting push attempt from Crackalakin. I did not expect that, as we see Sea Dragons are gonna be trying to perhaps extend their lead. They're pushing now on the right side, going for this checkpoint. They're going to be rushing for the pedestal. They do get shut down by that range blaster. On the side of they got shut down, and Crackalakin are going to be trying to retake the mid here, and they only have 35 seconds left here to try and get the lead here. 26 is going to be a hard lead to take, but on Manta, you can definitely get some cheesy Rainmaker runs, as we see the bunker now being completely occupied basically by Crackalakin. They're going to be trying to take strong positions here. Almost the well string going down to that shooter that we saw, trying to peek around. 2 down now on the side of Sea Dragons, as Crackalakin have a good case here to be pushing for the lead. But the well string is the Rainmaker is getting sharped out, but they do go down as Crackalakin's push is preserved. Now we are in overtime, as there's not much time left, and the Rainmaker survives the push of the gal. The wellstring now diving goes down. Sea Dragons is now trying to run every single resource into this Rainmaker as they can. The Kraken even comes out, and the Rainmaker dies before it can get the lead. Just barely. We saw Sea Dragons literally throwing every single player one by one into the Rainmaker, fail after fail, until finally I believe it was the Kraken that took out the Rainmaker at the end there. Kraken is an invincible special, so there's not much that Crackalakin can do about that when that happens. What an ending there. This push that we're seeing on the replay here, I've never actually seen a Rainmaker push from that position, but it's cool that we got to see that. And I mean, the ending there was almost I thought that Crackalakin might have gotten that when I saw all of Sea Dragon's players basically just feeding into the team of Crackalakin trying to stop the Rainmaker, but they did eventually get the Kraken out to stop the push.
We saw Zap diving the Rainmaker for like 10 whole seconds. We saw Gal diving the Rainmaker, and we saw Kraken diving the Rainmaker. They wanted the Rainmaker so badly. They wanted to close out that game. And that's like the type of passion that you want from these teams. They do not want, neither of these teams want to lose. However, with Sea Dragons taking another game in this set, Crackalackins is just really on the back foot right now. And we're gonna have to see how they're going to just try to run this back. Maybe they'll have a maybe they'll have another wall run a 4 wall comp, and maybe that'll be something that they could do. I highly doubt it, but either way, right? But either way, there is one thing that I do want to say about that game, and one thing that I could have made that game a lot better. We needed we needed one more wall. We needed like 5 walls. That's just me.
we needed that Zap on the side of Crackalakin to, you know, just be something else. Just anything with a wall. Like, could have brought out like the H3D or something. I don't know, but with that a quad wall comp is you know, they're cooking it. Next game, the quad wall comp gonna come out from Crackalakin and take this Hagglefish Zones game. As I should mention that Sea Dragons are now at set point. If they win this Hagglefish Zones game, they will be taking the entire set. So Crackalakin definitely have a lot of pressure on them, as they now basically have to win 4 games in a row to you know, make this almost reverse sweep happen. And Hagglefish Zones is, you know, in my opinion, it's a relatively vanilla map mode. I mean, it's a lot of people like it. It's kind of like the sort of a more of a default map mode that is used a lot. I honestly don't mind Hagglefish Zones. You know, you have the 2 flanks on the sides that are, you know, somewhat they're pretty good flanks. I mean, sometimes they can be a little bit tricky to take, but they are relatively good flanks. A lot of the times the painting zone in mid can become a little bit just like paint spammy, and sometimes this map mode isn't fun, but most of the time I enjoy playing this in comp. You know, it's Hagglefish. I feel like most people like Hagglefish. So what are your thoughts, Virus?
There are 2 types of people in this world: people who like Hagglefish market zones and people who absolutely despise it. I'm part of the latter group. I don't really like this map all that much. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's kind of bad. Like it is like a hallway map on zones. Not as bad as mid speed zones. Don't get me wrong, but what I want, like if I were to ever run a tournament, would I want to put Hagglefish zones in the map pool? Probably not. Just because. But either way, there are some reasons why you can like Hagglefish. There are some reasons why people don't like them. I just personally just like don't like the map at all. But either way, it's like there's like a lot of stuff that you need to do in order to have a really successful push here on this particular map mode. If one, like, I do want to see if like one team is gonna go for the enemy tent once they do get an aggressive enough push going forward. That is the strategy that we're gonna see if it's going to be applicable or not. But I do want to see some aggression coming out in terms of just holding the zone. I want to see people just like use specials to just take control of play and get more picks and just secure the game from there, because in my opinion that's how the map should be played. Just like get control of the court, reload your specials again, and just try to just stagger them on their plat with those specials in mind. And right now we are going to see a comp change from Sea Dragons. We are going to, well, not Sea Dragons, from Crackalakin. We are going to see the Hydra Splatling coming out from Crackalakin, and we see, we have Sea Dragons just running the basic comp that they have been running the core foundations that they have. They do have the junior and the edit. No quad wall, unfortunately.
Yeah, no quad wall. I mean, Crackalakin have obviously opted to abandon that strategy, as now 3 going down on both sides. Plenty of picks. Basically, a full wipe here, I believe, for the side of Sea Dragons. Or, yeah, there's lots of picks. As we see, Crackalakin going to be holding this zone to begin with their first initial push. We see the bubble coming out from the junior here, as they're going to be trying to, you know, hold space on zone. They're gonna be able to cap the zones, Sea Dragons, and So far, not a full push completed. The Hydra is being pushed by someone. I believe it was the range blaster, and the Hydra, is gonna have to back up, or I believe they went down, and we see uh, Sea Dragons have fully taken the zone. They're gonna be, trying to move up, and like you said, they've got this crab out. They're using their specials to basically lock out Crackalacken on their plat. You did mention that that is probably the most effective strategy, is just to completely storm, the opponent's plat with specials, as now to go down on the side of Crackalacken, as Sea Dragons have a pretty good first push. They've already got it down to 17 remaining. Two more go down on the side of Crackalacken. Sea Dragon now 10 points remaining away from taking this set and moving on to Ludi Finals. There's been not much happening in this game as the timer ticks down. Nothing left to do for Crackalacken. I was kind of caught off guard there, as it seemed, Sea Dragons just had an absolutely, banger of a push there right at the end, and just, really swift knockout there, as they're going to be taking Game 6, which is the set for Sea Dragons. And that is Sea Dragons moving on to the finals, and that is Crackalacken unfortunately knocked out of Ludi playoffs. Virus, I mean, what a set. Not the craziest last game there, but what are your thoughts?
Crackalacken is just like they came out of the gate swinging, but Sea Dragons came back swinging even harder, with practically 100-0 knockout, after just being after letting Crackalacken get the score all the way down to 77. And Sea Dragons was just playing that almost perfectly. Like I said, they were just getting up in their face, and once they had like the resources needed, they were just staggering Crackalacken, and Crackalacken was not able to regroup in time in order to get the lead, in order to try to fight back for the zone. And Sea Dragons, in a very dominant fashion, was able to take this game, and they are going to advance to Ludi playoffs. And this set was very entertaining. MVP for me definitely has to be the like the MVP for me definitely has to be the Carbon on the side of Sea Dragons, because they were putting in work, especially on the Barnacle game, where they just ran right into the gals and just was able to open up a lot of stuff for Sea Dragons.
Yeah, absolutely. That Carbon was definitely a big, important player on the side of Sea Dragons to take this set. I mean, I think definitely Sea Dragons showed their pushing potential whenever it seemed that Sea Dragons had a push going. They always, brought their entire team into the fray, and they, fully just kind of dominated Crackalacken on the offensive, not really letting them get any sort of retake, as they take what, might be viewed as a pretty easy victory. But I think that Crackalacken should not be underplayed here. They did have plenty of moments of good team play, plenty of, close games in this set. They did show that, why they even made it to semifinals in the first place. So definitely congratulations to Crackalacken for making it this far, but you got to give it to Sea Dragons for making it in the finals. I'm not sure which team they're facing in the finals. But
I have to back it up right now. I don't think I could pronounce his name though.
uh,
They're going
yeah,
against, I don't know how to pronounce the name, but
I don't know how to pronounce that name
they're
either.
going against Gaia Tori. I don't know how to pronounce that name. If anyone in that team is in chat, I apologize for just absolutely butchering that name, because I know I got it wrong. But yeah, as you see on the screen right now, Crackalackens, not Crackalacken, Sea Dragons is gonna go against that team in Division 10A finals. So if that's just being streamed, which I assume it will be at some point, be sure to give that a look, because that's gonna be a really intense that's gonna be a really intense set, as both teams have like really dropped any games throughout the playoffs. Each team has, like, in the grand total, each team has only dropped around like 4 games in total, if I'm not mistaken, with each team just like going undefeated in some of their matches at some point. So it's going to be a fairly tense set, I feel like, and I cannot wait to see how that unfolds if it is gonna get streamed at some point.
Yeah, hopefully a banger of a finals. Like I said, I really hope it gets streamed. I should mention that right now on the main Splatoon tourney channel, we do have a set currently going on as it is Caution versus Insomniac Central. I'm personally very familiar with many of the players on Caution. Caution are currently 4-0 up here in their Game 5 set. But we are, I believe, gonna be holding on this, second channel for perhaps another 5 minutes so that we can show you guys the very much anticipated Splatfest results. I know I'm very excited to see those, but I hope y'all are like ready to stick around and see the Splatfest results, guys. Let's go.
Yes,
All right, guys. It is just me for the moment. But we are back. We just saw that Caution won their set in Div 5. Don't I think that was semifinals. Yep. They won at 5-0. As we are about to go into the very much anticipated Splatfest result, as we are all cheering for Team Rice. Let's go, Team Rice. We want Team Rice to win. Any Team Ricers in chat? So yep. All right. We're gonna have to like spam through the dialogue, or I don't know if that. Yeah. But I'm I'm definitely on Team Rice here, as we see Team Rice wins the percentages here. We're gonna spam through the dialogue again, Mr. Streamer. Yeah. As Team Rice wins again, let's go Team Rice. Yeah, we got the zoom in. Honestly, not surprised. Team Rice was just the best from the beginning. As we're about to see the results here, as Team Rice is gonna take, so we're gonna take it all. I think that basically says it all. Folks, you heard it here first, or maybe second. I'm not sure if y'all are watching the other SplatoonTourney channel, but we got the results of the Splatfest. I believe that's almost certainly a Team Rice victory. As we deserve. Definitely the superior team, not even close. Actually, okay, I was gonna say that looks pretty close between Pasta and Rice, but nope. Rice are gonna take it, easy sweep. I mean, fry sweep. What can I say, guys? Definitely the right team to choose. Yeah, I got my super sneeze snail, so this Splatfest has been a win-win for me. And if I wish I wish Virus was here to end this off with me, but for now I'll just say that you can find me like my socials is it basically includes my very newly made Twitter Giraffe G Spamton, and yes, that is a Deltarune reference. Um I I don't know where Virus is, but I'll just plug his Twitter. Anyways, you can find him at the name's Virus, but it's spelled VIRXZ. So go follow him there, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this Div 10 Ludi semifinals. Crackalacken versus Sea Dragons, and I hope you guys all have a very good evening. That is going to wrap up the Ludi Tonight broadcast for today. So thank you all for watching. Oh yeah, and Virus is back. Yeah, Rice won.
Let's
Actually,
go.
I actually already plugged your Twitter, but if you want to plug your Twitter again, then
It's fine. No, it's fine. You already got that, actually. Did you plug my Twitch and YouTube, though?
Your YouTube? I did not plug your YouTube. Go ahead.
I'm gonna do that. My YouTube and Twitch is the same as my Twitter at. The name's Virus. Go ahead, check it out.
Yeah. I'm a frequent Twitch viewer of Virus, so definitely go check him out on those platforms. But that is definitely gonna be all for us. Like I said, hope you guys enjoyed watching Ludi tonight. That is gonna be it, and have a great evening to all of you.